And there is the opening point for Lawson State in this one. Not sure what created an issue with our opening start, but we're back if you missed it. First two from Bishop State, the next one from Lawson State, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Wildcats on top. Picked up by Price, bumped over to Jacobs, drives it across. Trinity Chapman and Craig Lapero able to retrieve first. Two-handed shove into the corner by Dubose. It goes a little bit long. And Bishop State taking the early 3-1 lead. Well, as I mentioned, had a little technical issue. No idea what the technical issue was. Just stopped our stream. Said, hey, enough. Hey, technological people, we got a long way to go. Got to get one of these two teams in. Nice save, but sent the other way. It was a diving try to save by Manning, and I don't know that Jay Jamont knew that the save was coming. And just the reflex swatted it the other way, and Lawson State picks up the point, draws to within one. And Lawson State serving. Got the back set. Jamont just a little bit short. We're tied at 3. Opening set here between Bishop State and Lawson State. Battles of the 4. And it does change how things are scheduled and situated for tomorrow. Schedule is different if you've got a Lawson State win as compared to a Bishop State win. Serve back over to Bishop State. Taylor, the freshman out of Bessemer, handling the chores. Here at the Mobile Civic Center for the second year in a row. Coach Nicole Keyshock and company, what a great job they do at Bishop State in hosting. It is driven over by Kendall Thomas, now on the floor, and Bishop State back out in front by 2. 5-3 lead with Taylor still serving. Goes too long. And letting it sail out is Latour. Four serving 5. In blue is Lawson State, and green is Bishop State. Picked up by Chapman, got the back set. Jamont, tip over. Able to get underneath. I believe that was Latour. We are perched up high. That makes it a little difficult, and then the long ponytails swishing across the numbers on the back of the jersey, making it a little more difficult. And we'll go over to Kendall Thomas, and Thomas will get the antenna, and Lawson State will pick up their first lead. So it is the Cougars on top here in the opening set at the Mobile Civic Center. Chapman getting underneath. It was tipped back by Manning. Driven over, dropped in, Lawson State by 2. And a thank you to the Civic Center for the opportunity to sit here perched high above both floors. One not in use. You see the one floor, I guess you would say, to the north of the floor in use. Taylor sending it over into the backcourt. Over it goes to Jacobs, drives, and the block goes out. Biggest lead of the ball game is 3, and it now belongs to Lawson State. Taylor gets to it first. Free ball sent over by Taylor. Went the wrong way off the hands of Woods. One bad pass can create problems for the offense. And it is 6 serving 8. Michaela Griffin, the freshman, 6'3", out of Troy, Alabama. Able to just clear, delivers the ace, trying to dive and save it was Gaiman, but couldn't. And early in this one, we are getting what we anticipated. Tightly contested, big-time battle between these two. Launched over by Thomas to the opposite side of the floor. That is driven off Jamont. Kill administered by Alexis Jacobs. Point awarded to Lawson State. Serve goes back over to the Cougars. Jacobs, the 5'10" outside hitter from West Palm Beach, handling the chores. Into the backcourt, back set. Jamont drives it. Bishop State within one. Jaden Jimison, the sophomore, and 5'4" from Blundstown, serving it up. That is errant off of Jeriona Gaiman. And here we are tied again. And nobody able to really establish some early momentum. You did have a 2-point Bishop State lead twice. You did have a 3-point Lawson State lead once. Nice save by Latour, but it will catch the antenna and Bishop State gets the lead back. Just a little bit long on the serve from Jaden Jimison. No live stats available, but in my head I can remember a tie at 3, a tie at 5, a tie at 9, and here we are tied again at 10. Picked up by Chapman. Sent over by Thomas. Running shot into the corner from Gaiman. And Cougars get the lead back. Tomorrow, a couple of floors in every time slot. 11, 1, 3, and 5. Chapman sending the free ball over. Setting up the mid part of the floor, and that is slammed over by Moore. Lawson State by 2. Win, you're in. Lose, you are out. Season ends. A lot of pressure on these ladies. Manning with the set. Driven over. And Bishop State back to within 1. So as I mentioned, that floor that you see vacant currently will have volleyball on it tomorrow. Into the backcourt. It is Price. Griffin with a block. Into the backcourt, Jimison. Over it goes to Taylor, drives it. Latour in the backcourt, setting up the mid part of the floor. Latour got a piece of it, able to bring it back onto the floor was Jacobs. Manning with a back sit. King driving it across. That is off the fingertips of Jimison. Cougars by 2. Well, if you'd planned on watching on YouTube, our apologies. The just very brief interruption, that killing of the stream for just a matter of seconds killed the link. But good to have you here on JockJive watching coverage tonight. Tipped over to Gaiman, running jump shot. Jimison able to get it sent over and into the backcourt by King. Hey, neither one of these teams wants to go home. They want to play all weekend here in Mobile. And of course, if you're going to do that, you got to be a victor tonight. Chapman will serve. The libero driving it into the backcourt. A little too strong with the opening pass. Did keep it in fair play, but not able to set up the offense for the Cougars. Taylor driving it over. It is bumped by Latour and driven over by Dubose. Two-point advantage. Lawson State's Gaiman with a serve. Able to save it, Manning, sent over by Chapman. Mid part of the floor. Great Chapman save. Jimison with a pass. And is bumped back over to Dubose, who drives it. Setting up Taylor, slams it over. And we've got a 1-point game. Layla Manning, the freshman, 5'8", out of Milton, serving it up. Latour got to it first. Over it goes to Jacobs. Nice block there on the front line. Chapman dives for the pancake. And the Cougars by 2. Served up by Latour out of Port Charlotte, Florida. Taylor, running shot, able to get a hand out and bump the pass over Price. Setting up Chapman, free ball, sent across, Latour underneath. Back set. Dubose kill attempt blocked. Into the backcourt to Holston. Set for Jacobs, and she'll drive it in front of Holston. Lawson State back out in front by 3 as we've got our first timeout on the floor. Opening set, 3-point Lawson State lead. Latour will serve. As I mentioned, things are different tomorrow based on who wins tonight. And there is a team out of Region 23 here, Pearl River. Our first lead bigger than 3, a 4-point Cougar advantage. Latour on the serve. Taylor got there first. It is shoved over by Griffin. Serve goes back over to the other side of the floor. Lawson State 7-5 in the north. Bishop State 6-4 in the south. And Bishop State just a nudge below the 500 mark overall. Nice Griffin block. And Bishop State makes it a 2-point game with Taylor continuing to serve. It is the first meeting this year between these two teams. Latour with a little bump, back set. And that is driven over for the point by Dubose. And Dubose will serve. Dubose a .233 hitter. 33 aces on the year. Chapman a little too strong with a pass. Trying to reach and bring it back over was Manning. And instead Cougars back out in front by 4. Well, Dubose will continue to serve, averaging nearly 3 points a game. This is a .223 hitting Lawson State team. Very good hitting squad. Got another opportunity from Kendall Thomas over on the left side. Bumped by Taylor, back set Manning, shoved over by Jamont. Driven into the backcourt. Jacobs with some authority. Chapman able to get to it. Free ball by Taylor. Price back set. That's down the line. Driven in by Jacobs. Cougars take a 5-point lead. Biggest lead of the game here at the Mobile Civic Center. And I see other teams here. I think Coastal North is here. Wallace Hansville is here. And I'm not sure who that is. Grouped together just a little bit beyond Coastal North. Might be LBW. Four-point ball game, opening game. You know the rules. Got to win 3. Paris Collier with a serve. Tip back over. Latour able to save. Dubose to the front line. Free ball sent over by Price. Mid part of the floor. King couldn't get what she wanted on it. Shoved back over to Jacobs. She'll drive it off the fingertips of King. And the Cougars taking a 5-point lead. 4 away from wrapping up the opening set. Bishop State 9 away from winning set 1. Taylor mishandles. Chapman able to get it. Free ball sent over by Manning. Bump to Price. Back set. Wood shot blocked. Gaiman drives it. Chapman got to it. Manning over to Taylor. Free ball sent back to the Cougars. Over it goes to Gaiman. Drives it. And that is off fingertips. I believe it got Manning on the way out. Timeout on the floor. Lawson State 3 away from winning set 1. Got a very busy weekend this weekend on JockJive. Volleyball all day long tomorrow. Football tomorrow night. Basketball tomorrow night. Coastal Alabama North and Coastal Alabama South kicking off the year. Then football, volleyball, and basketball on Saturday. Baseball on Sunday, the ace. Jacobs serves it up. Cougars 2 away from taking a set 1 win. That was ace number 22 on the year for Jacobs. Bumped over to Collier, and Collier getting Cougar paws on the way out. 23-17 game, Jaden Jemison serving. The sophomore out of Blunnstown. Well, I'm really going into the crevices of my aged mind. I think Blunnstown, the Tigers maybe, in the Panhandle. Game in too long. And the lady from Blunnstown, Jaden Jemison, will serve again. Jemison with 19 aces this year, but that's an error. And it's got Lawson State one away from taking the opening set. Set point from Jacobs. Jimison there first. Bumped over to Collier. Able to pull it off. The net was Moore. Keep it in play. Into the stands, and that's the Wallace State coach doing a good job of catching that one without a hop. And obviously, Wallace, hands full, Coastal North, interested in the outcome of this game. Coastal North could be playing Wallace Hansville, or Wallace Hansville could be playing somebody else based on how things go. Bishop State not wrapping it up yet, though. (24-20) game. Halston on the serve. Little shove over, able to get their game in. And that will drop. Moore reaching, trying to tip it. And now it is Lawson State that says, ladies, let's talk. Opening set has been a dandy. Biggest lead has been 6. That has belonged to Lawson State. Biggest Bishop State lead in this opening set has been 2. And Lawson State has been at set point now for 3 consecutive serves. Bumped over to Gaiman. Gaiman shoving it over. In will drop in front of Jimison. And the Cougars will take set number 1. So we are done with 1 and headed to 2. The early advantage belongs to Lawson State. But a long way to go before one of these seasons ends and the other continues.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
We get set number 2 underway. The ladies have swapped sides of the floor. Bishop State now to your right. Lawson State to your left. Lawson State taking the opening set by a 25-21 final. And they've got the early advantage, trying to take a more commanding advantage. Taylor will drive it. And Bishop State, which scored the opening point in the opening set, gets the opening point in set number 2. Setting up the mid part of the floor. I'm not sure the pass was exactly what Moore was anticipating. But Bishop State will again match what they did in the first set. And that score the opening 2. Taking a 2-zip lead. And he's shoved over to Dubose, drives it across, picking it up in the backcourt is Holston. And that will drop where there is nary a Wildcat. I guess I don't need to repeat myself again, right, about the similarities. 2 straight from Bishop State in the opening set, and point number 3 went to Lawson State. Ace delivered, we're tied at 2. Well, there's where things will change. Bishop State in the opening set went 3-1 here in set 2. We're knotted up at 2. Game and serving the sophomore from Sanford, Florida. And it's shoved over to Taylor, sends it into the backcourt. Latour able to get to it. Over to Jacobs, drives it from the left side. And Lawson State takes a 3-2 lead. Well, I mentioned it's different tomorrow if Lawson State wins as compared to Bishop State. And it's crushed over by Jimison. We were tied at 2, we're now tied at 3. Chapman serving. If Bishop State wins, your 11 a.m. games tomorrow, Wallace State, Hansville, and Coastal North, LBW and Snead State. Actually, that's if Lawson State wins. If Lawson State wins this one, Coastal North, Wallace, Hansville, LBW, Snead State. If Bishop State wins, it is Wallace, Hansville, Bishop State, LBW, Pearl River. So obviously a noticeable difference. So there are other teams watching that I assure you are cheering for someone in particular that is advantageous to their brackets. Driven over by Manning. Bumped over to Jacobs. Into the backcourt. Jimison had it. Tipped over by Taylor. Driven into the backcourt. Holston able to get to it. Over to Taylor. Drives it and goes wide. Lawson State taking a 4-3 lead, and Latour serving. Taylor will come out of the game for Bishop State. Kendall Thomas checking into the contest. And I mean, obviously, too, with your 11 a.m. games different, everything's a little bit different. At least a certain distance into the tournament. And that is because Pearl River is going to be a 3. They will be a 3 seed. As that one goes into the stands off Holston. So if the region you represent, Bishop State out of the south, Lawson State out of the north, is the winner tonight, then the team in your division, or the other division, got 2 hits, actually a total of 4 on the Bishop State side. But you kind of help your division if you win tonight. So Lawson State helps the north. Bishop State helps the south with a win. Because Pearl River will be a 3 in the opposite division. They'll either be a 3 in the north or south. They'll be a 3 in the South if Lawson State wins. There'll be a 3 in the North if Bishop State wins. Am I confusing you? It's one of my rare talents. 7-5 game. Taylor back onto the floor. She will serve for Bishop State. The freshman out of Bessemer, Alabama, into the net. Lawson State with an 8-5 lead. Alexis Jacobs, who already has an ace today, 21 coming in. Shabbat with a drive. It is blocked. It'll tip over. That was by Flippin, Megan Flippin, into the ball game for Bishop State. And now Michaela Griffin, the freshman, in to serve. This is a freshman-laden Bishop State squad. You've got 5 sophomores. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 freshmen. Dinked over, Manning able to get there. Taylor with a bump, Flippin, driving it over. It is blocked. That is Amaria Woods, the 5'6" sophomore, blocking it. And it is Woods who will serve. Manning, back set, slammed over by Jamai. Not a must-win set for Bishop State, but it's the next best thing to a must-win. They want to tie this one up at 1 each. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, Cougars of Lawson State, they would love to go ahead and take the commanding 2-zip lead. Flippin. And got Dubose on the way out. And Bishop State within 1. Jemison serving. Latour gets there first. Just a little bit long with a shot from Moore. And Bishop State knots it up at 9 with Jemison continuing to serve. Jemison 2 assists, 19 aces this year. Over to Flippin. Blocked and then swatted again by Moore. What athletic reflexes. Her block defended well, but then Moore just slaps it over into the corner where there wasn't a Wildcat. And Lawson State takes a 1-point lead with Price serving. Chapman a little too strong. That's shoved back over by Moore. Lawson State a 2-point lead. Served up by Price, Chapman digs, flipped over by Manning. Latour to Jacobs, that's off Chapman. And Lawson State takes a 3-point lead. Well, the goal is to get to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That is where the Division II National Championships are played. Manning with a back set. Driven over by King. Bishop State down by 2. As in the serve is Holston. And of course, you know, this year in the ACCC, a lot of changes as Holston goes long. You got the Coastals, now Coyotes. And you've got changes within the Coastal Alabama Athletic Program. You got a D1 and a D2 now in the ACCC. All the volleyball D2. You got a Reed State in. I understand they open their season at home. And already picked up a win over Mobile's JV in their season opener, but had their home opener against Coastal South and had a packed house and a great ball game. So a lot of excitement in the ACCC. Into the backcourt, and you can see that Moore was kind of trying to determine where to situate the hands. Griffin sending it into the backcourt. Latour able to get to it. Backs in. Tipped over by Dubose. Driven over by Griffin. Wildcats within one. Chapman will serve. Chapman with 25 aces this year. That is slammed over by Dubose. Free ball sent over by Holston. Jacobs off Holston. Tell you what makes this year's tournament so exciting is that, yeah, you got your favorites. Latour able to get it off the net. Taylor somehow bringing it back over despite the collision with Chapman. That is driven by Dubose off Chapman. And Chapman getting beat up, ran into Taylor, and then got smacked by the volleyball. And that will prompt a Bishop State timeout as the Cougars take a 3-point lead. Set number 2, Lawson State with a 15-12 lead. Griffin will drive it off of Layla Price. And Bishop State scoring coming out of the timeout. Serve back over to the Lady Wildcats. Layla Manning with 31 aces this year, 167 for Bishop State. And the ladies serving with more than any other Wildcat. A little miscommunication on the pass to Woods. And 2 in a row from Bishop State makes it a 1-point game. Manning a 238 hitter on a 195 hitting Bishop State squad. That'll go a little bit long. And seemingly every time Bishop State almost gets there, Cougars able to pull away, able to widen that gap a little bit. Now by 2 with Dubose serving. Taylor there first, Manning setting up Griffin. Griffin drives it in front of Dubose. Back to a 1-point game again. Served up by Taylor. That'll drop in front of the inline, the ace for Taylor. And we're tied at 16. Jacobs, she goes long. And Bishop State taking the 1-point lead. Wallace Hansville, the best hitting team at 225, but Lawson State at 223, just a nudge below. 3 200-plus hitting teams. Enterprise State, Lawson State, and Wallace State Hansville. Jacobs will serve. I have yet to identify that other team that is here, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was Pearl River. Pearl River might be playing an 11 a.m. game tomorrow, or might not. A unique situation this year in that really you don't know who your opening opponent is until this one wraps up. You don't know if you're playing at 11 or 1 until this one wraps up. Got the ace, did Paris Collier. And Bishop State with a 2-point lead. Collier, the freshman who played her high school ball right here in Mobile with the serve. And it's too long from Woods. And now it is Lawson State, who will take time to talk. Paris Collier wanted to get the ball game back in progress a little early. Officials slow her down, tipped over, and then tipped right back by Jamont. Collier able to track it down. Free ball sent over by Manning. Got the back set, launched over by Moore. Over to Flippin, and Flippin will kiss it off of Dubose. Bishop State, their biggest lead of the match. Biggest one of the set 2 at 4. And again, Collier with the serve at the back set. Tipped over by Woods. Manning able to track it down. Jamont sending it into the backcourt. Latour there. Over it goes to Gaiman. Blocked. Jamont and King there for the block. King with the kill. Bishop State by 5. Collier again on the serve. Latour able to dig it out. Punched over to Gaynor. Tries to drive it down the line. It will go out. Bishop State 2 away from tying it up. Lawson State 8 away from taking a 2-zip lead. Will flick over by Woods. Over to Flippin. Dropped it where nobody could get to it. Jacobs got a piece of it, but couldn't get a pass off. And Bishop State 1 away from tying us up at a set each. It is flicked over by Price. Over it goes to Jamont. And Jamont's shot blocked. Lawson State getting the serve back. Served up by Woods. Manning, Jamont tipping it over. Trying to reach it was Dubose and couldn't. And we wrapped up another set. And this one tied up at 1 each as we had the set number 3 in the Civic Center, which of course means we're going to have at least 4 of these tonight, and it wouldn't be a big shock if we win 5.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
I don't think it's a big surprise. 9 up and 1 each. Opening set goes to Lawson State. Set number 2 to Bishop State. And if you are of the superstitious mindset, you might be saying, well, you know who's won? The right side of the floor in both instances. Let's see if that happens again. Set number 3 underway. Gainer sending it over, able to get there Jemison. Over to Taylor on the left side, tries to go cross court, does. And Bishop State has scored the opening point in every set. Takes a 1-zip lead with Trinity Chapman serving. Sophomore libero, 5'2" out of Jasper, Alabama. Nice job by Griffin, able to pull it off the net, tipped into the backcourt by Moore. That'll drop in front of Latour. Hey, we're already past Halloween, so this kind of weird stuff, you know, should happen around Halloween, not 2 or 3 days later. You know, 3rd consecutive set, Bishop State has scored the first 2. Previous 2 sets, Lawson State scores this one. Let's see if they do here. They will not. And there's your first change in the first 3 points from sets 1, 2, and now 3. Bishop State, 3-zip lead. Chapman serving. Drives it to Latour. Price with a bump. That is sent over by Dubose. Taylor backs up to deliver off of Latour and out of bounds into the stands. And Bishop State taking an early 4-zip lead. Chapman again serving. Libero to libero. It is tipped over for the first points for Lawson State. Moore able to send it off Jemison. Largest lead in the match has been 6. Currently it is 3. It belongs to Bishop State. Lawson State with their first serve of set number 3. Griffin able to tip it over towards the sidelines. Layla Manning serving. The freshman out of Milton, Florida. Drives it into the backcourt to Latour. Price able to save it. Gaiman sending it over. Manning bumps into Chapman. Over to Taylor. Drives it, blocked nicely. And is Moore with a block. Moore at 6'2", and from this vantage point looks a lot taller than 6'2". And Latour will serve again. Shoved over to Taylor. Taylor drives it, drops it in front of Latour. Chilly night in the Port City. Temperature is expected to get into the lower 40s, maybe even nibble on the top side of 30. And it's a little chilly here in the Civic Center. I thought heat rose. I'm up in the rafters. It's supposed to be warm up here and cool down there. Of course, it could be cool all over. Served up by Dubose. Over it goes to Collier. Price with the set to Jacobs. It is blocked. Jamont able to get there. Gaiman. Free ball sent over by Jacobs. Chapman able to get there. Manning sending up Griffin. Tips it over. In the backcourt, Dubose. Over to Jacobs. Blocked out of bounds by Jamont. Four serving 6. Dubose at 5'10", the sophomore from Birmingham. And that'll drop in the corner. A laser from Collier. And Bishop State with a 3-point lead. Griffith serving. Griffin 6'3" from Troy, Alabama, which, as that one goes wide, would mean she is maybe a Charles Henderson product, maybe a Pike Lib. A couple of high schools there in the Troy area. Jacobs serving. Sends it to Taylor. Manning. Collier able to send the free ball over. Too strong with the pass. Flipping, sending it right back. Bishop State with the 8-5 lead. Mentioned the best hitting team is Wallace Hansful in the tournament by percentage points, mere percentage points over the Lawson State squad. In the kill department, though, they are number 1 by a large stretch. As a team, 1,930. Second best is Snead State at 1,573. Gaiman sending it over. Diamond dug out by Taylor. Jemison over to Flippin. Bumped over to Gaiman. Gaiman with that running shot. Jemison able to get there. Bump back over to Flippin. Drives it across. Gainer there. Back over it goes to Gaiman. And that will go long. Bishop State doubling up the Cougar output. Check that. The officials say, hey, Lady Wildcats, give it over to the Cougars. And we'll do the same on the scoreboard. 6-9, 6 serving 9. As it is served up by Price. Manning able to shove it through the hands of Gaiman. Braden Holston, the freshman out of Spanish Fort, just across the bay here in the Mobile area. Swatted over by Moore into the backcourt. Latour able to get to it. Free ball sent over by Jacobs. Chapman's there. Manning setting up Taylor. Latour gets underneath. Bumped over to Gaiman. So tip it over. Jimison there, setting up Taylor. Drives it off of Jacobs. And Bishop State with a 5-point lead. Lawson State asking for time. The Civic Center on a chilly Thursday night here in the Port City. But the volleyball heating things up. It is tied at 1. Bishop State with an 11-6 advantage here in set number 3. Just can't overstate the significance of the game. This doesn't get much bigger than if you win, you play on, and if you lose, the season ends. Manning setting up Taylor, drives it across off Moore and out of bounds. And now Bishop State has doubled up Lawson State with a 12-6 lead. Holston on the serve. Gaiman there first. Price bumps it back over to Gaiman. Sends it into the backcourt. Holston able to get to it. Manning setting up Taylor. Drives it from the left side. Jacobs in the backcourt. Over it goes to Moore. Shoves it across Jimison from her knees. Holston able to get there, but Manning nor King from their knees could return. Lawson State picking up their 7th point. Bishop State trying to go to 10-10 overall. Lawson State trying to pick up their 18th win in this 2023 season. Trinity Chapman serving. Set number 3 will have at least 4. Aims for the corner and goes long. Serve back over to the other side of the floor. Gaiman will serve, 31 aces. A 168 hitter on the year. Bumped over to Jacobs. Blocked by Griffin, but out of bounds. 2 in a row for Lawson State. Trims a 6-point game to 4. And Gaiman again serving. The best team serving-wise in the ACCC, Snead State. 331 aces. Well, I guess you could be a better serving team, and you don't have to necessarily attribute it all to aces. But if you're looking at the most aces from a team, and speaking of such, there's Manning with 1. Then it's Snead State. 2 teams with 300 plus. Snead State 1. Wallace Hansville the other. Able to retrieve it near the water cooler was Gaiman. Latour sending it over. Well, joust. Jamont and Jacobs, and Jamont hit it twice. Latour serving. And that is the ace. Jamont couldn't return it. Back to a 4-point game. Christlove Latour wide with the serve. And Bishop State with a 5-point lead. Coming into postseason, Wallace Hansville, one out of the north, LBW one out of the south. Flippin sending the free ball over, Price shoving it over to Jacobs. Jacobs shot blocked by Jamai. Bishop State with a 6-point lead. Taylor on the serve, Latour there first, Price back set. Over it goes to Dubose, and she'll drive it across. Bishop State 8 away from taking a 2-1 lead. Lawson State 13 away from a 2-1 advantage. Last year, I don't think we were playing on a Thursday night, if I'm remembering correctly. We were here on a Thursday watching the floor put together. There was a cheerleading competition a year ago on a Thursday night. And everybody was working late to get the floor ready for Friday. This year, the play-in game on Thursday as we welcome Pearl River in Region 23 to the tournament. And if my memory serves me correctly, the last couple of years, I cannot remember the region. Is it 17 maybe that Monroe College represented out of New York? They played here. Obviously makes a little more sense in a Gulf South tournament to have Gulf South teams. And we certainly enjoyed having Monroe College here, but had to be difficult for them too. Talk about making a drive from New York here. Biggest lead of the match, 8 for Bishop State. But this year it is Region 23, the region that has the Mississippi and Louisiana teams. And Pearl River emerged out of that region as the victor, participating in the tournament with all the ACCC teams a little too strong from Jamai. Lawson State wins the opening set. Bishop State trying to take the next two. Jacobs serving. She'll get the ace off Taylor. Well, if you were a 1, 2, or 3, you didn't have to worry about the play-in game. It was the 4s that knew they had an extra step before getting to Friday's play, the opening round of the tournament. As that will go long from Jacobs. So that meant in the South, LBW, Enterprise State, and Coastal Alabama North didn't have to worry about tonight. They'll play tomorrow. And it means in the North, nice save by Jemison. Wallace Hansville, Calhoun, and Snead State didn't worry about a play-in. Nice block. Able to get up and block it was Woods. And Woods, after the block, becomes the server. Jemison able to get to it. Manning bumps it to King. King flips it over. Manning, I think, hit it twice. Nope. And a net violation on the Cougars. And the Wildcats will take a 7-point lead. Sent over by Holston, the freshman from Spanish Fort. It is dropped over by Price. Cougars not going to roll over and play dead, despite needing more than twice as many points to win the set as Bishop State. King over to Chapman. Taylor drives it for the left side. Latour, wow, what a shot by Latour. Timeout on the floor, Bishop State, as the Cougars draw to within 5. Latour with a dynamite play, drawing the Cougars a little bit closer. 17 serving 22. What a job by Manning to get it over after the Price serve. It is tipped over by Moore, dug out by Holston. Taylor has it blocked by Moore. Cougars battling back in set number 3. Layla Price, the 5'6" sophomore from Port Charlotte, one of 2 from Port Charlotte on this squad. Latour the other, bumps it over to Price. Gaiman. It was blocked by Manning. Into the backcourt, Chapman. Manning, back set, driven over by King. Chapman serving, 2 away from a set 3 win. Floats it over, that is an ace. Gaiman dives, can't return. And we are at set point for Bishop State. (24-18) game with Chapman, the ace leader for Bishop State serving. Price pulling it back onto the floor. Latour with the free ball over. Jemison gets to it, setting up Griffin. Lobs it over. Jacobs there. Price setting up Moore, and Moore goes long. Bishop State has won back-to-back games and takes a 2-1 lead into set number 4.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We head into set number 4, and Lawson State knows the task. They've got to win this one. This is a must-win in so many different ways. Not only to extend the match, but to extend the season. And the opening point in this one belonging to Lawson State, which represents a bit of a change. The opening 3 sets, that first point has gone to Bishop State. In this one to Lawson State. In this must-win set, the ace from Gaiman. And Lawson State taking the 2-zip lead. They want 5 sets. Bishop State wants to wrap it up after 4. Into the net from Gaiman. Well, again, if Bishop State wins, they're playing at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning against Wallace Hansville. If Lawson State wins, they play at 1 o'clock tomorrow against Enterprise State. In green, Bishop State to your right. In blue and white, Lawson State to your left. Here is Latour with a serve. Manning setting up Griffin, drives it over. By the way, a huge thank you to ACCC Commissioner Dean Myrick for the opportunity to bring you volleyball. And of course, where the basketball season draws to an end, basketball, softball, baseball. Thanks to Coach Nicole Keyshock, Bishop State hosting. And I'm thinking it's the best seat in the house. Even got an elevator to get almost to that best seat in the house. Over to Jacobs. Blocked by Jamont. Back to Jacobs, drives it over. Holston picking it up in the backcourt. Taylor drives it from the left side. Gaiman too strong with the pass. Griffin sends it back. Shoved over by Woods, and that will drop in, and Lawson State taking a 3-point lead. Well, tomorrow we cover both floors starting at 11 o'clock. And double floors all day tomorrow, 11, 1, 3, and 5, and then only for one set of games on Saturday, the 11 a.m. games. Then we reduce to one floor. Shoved over by Griffin. Latour able to get there. Back over it goes to Gaiman. Drives it into the backcourt. Holston there. Taylor with the kill in front of Latour. And of course, every game we're there or here, however you prefer the terminology. Taylor with the serve. Bumped over to Jacobs, drives it. I think that got Griffin, it did. Also tomorrow, Bayside Academy and Alabama Christian football tomorrow night. Coastal Alabama South, Coastal Alabama North. Women's basketball. Saturday, in addition to the volleyball, Georgia Military College football. Showcase Series fall ball from Mississippi, Southern Union, and Coastal North basketball, women's basketball. Did I mention Georgia Military and College of DuPage? Football in Chicago. That is blocked, flipping, but goes out of bounds. And Lawson State in the set in which they must win, doubling up on the Wildcats. Served up by Woods. Taylor there first. Manning bumps it to Flipman. Moore blocks it. Flippin tries to save it and can't. And Lawson State by 5. Sunday baseball, Monday basketball. Oh, it's busy. Tipped over by King, able to get there. Dubose for the backcourt. Jacobs. She'll drop it in front of the inline. Bishop State asking for time as Lawson State takes a commanding 6-point lead. Back to the action, Flippin sends it over. Jacobs able to get a hand on it. Moore tipping it over. Manning there. Over to Jamont. And Jamont will stick it into the net. Lawson State with their biggest lead of the match at 7. There have been no double-digit leads today. Jamont tipping it over, able to get a hand on it. That was Dubose. Bump back over to Jacobs, drives it for the mid part of the floor. Flippin got there, Jamont. It is blocked by Moore. And Lawson State has been dominant early in set number 4. Served up by Woods. Of course, Lawson State up in Birmingham, and Birmingham represented by 5 on the roster. Over to Gaiman. Couple of hits though on the Price set. Jimison into the lineup to serve. So if Lawson State wins, Wallace, Hanceville, and Coastal North, LBW, and Sneed State in your 11 a.m. games tomorrow. If Bishop State wins, Bishop State and Wallace, Hanceville, LBW, and Pearl River in the 11 o'clock games. Layla Price to serve. Jimison gets there. Manning setting up King, but a nice block from Moore, and then the Thomas shot blocked, but Chapman able to recover. Bumped over to Gaiman. Gaiman tipping it over. Jimison got there, but it eventually winds up in the net. And Lawson State has got a 9-point lead. Nobody through 3 prior sets, and to this point in set 4 have led by 10. But the Cougars are 1 away from a double-digit lead. Price with the serve. Bumped by Manning, tipped over by Taylor. Back over by King. Latour, free ball sent to Jimison in the backcourt. Manning with a set to flip it. Drives it cross court off Latour. Not saying a double-digit lead won't happen in this one, but we're a little further away from that after the point from the Wildcats. Holston serving. Gaiman gets there first, setting up Moore. Lobs it into the backcourt. And the lead is 9 again. Gaiman with the serve. Manning setting up Taylor, drives it. Latour, what a save. One-handed dig. Into the net, but off the top of the net and over from Jacobs. And there is the match's first double-digit lead. A 16-6 Lawson State advantage. Shoved over by Manning. Able to get there was Price. Bumped over by Jacobs. Manning setting up Taylor, left side drive. Price to Latour to Jacobs. And that will go off King. A commanding 17-6 lead for the Cougars as the Wildcats asked for time. Cougars knew it was a must-win set coming in, and boy, they're playing like it's a set they've got to win. Leading it by 11. Gaiman will serve. Commanding advantage. Not saying it won't happen, but it sure looks like Lawson State is going to force a fifth set. But Bishop State saying, hang on. Just hold your horses. We plan on battling back and avoiding that fifth set. Let's see. Chapman serving. Playing game in the Gulf South NJCAA District Volleyball Championships. Tipped over with a left hand by Griffin. Back over it goes from Gaiman. Setting up Taylor, blocked by Moore. Jimison able to get there. Taylor into the backcourt. Gaiman's got it. Over it goes to Dubo, shoves it cross court. Jimison got to it. Taylor, saved by Latour. Back onto the floor from Dubose. Moore shoves it back over. Griffin, finally it drops. What a battle. 2 in a row from the Wildcats. Chapman again serving. Came in there first. Price bumping it over to Jacobs. Lobs into the backcourt. Chapman there. Setting up Griffin. Tips it across. Price got to it. Over to Dubose. Aiming for the corner. Chapman backtracks to get it. Manning. Tip back over by Jacobs. Twice over by Jacobs. Holston to Taylor. Over to Jacobs. Drives it. On a block by Griffin. Gaiman driving it. That'll go off Holston. Jimison tracked it down in front of the water cooler. Back over to Moore. Moore drops it in. Lead back to 10. Latour to serve. Picked up by Holston. Over it goes to Taylor. That will go off of Woods. "90 minutes of volleyball here from the Civic Center in Mobile. And we still don't know who's going to be playing tomorrow morning and who's not. Blocked and goes out. Initially Our corner judge saying it was off of Dubose, but then after are you sure? Changing the call and the lead back to 10. I don't think it got anybody. Gaiman, Griffin able to kill it. Taylor will serve. Tamaria Taylor, the freshman out of Bessemer, Alabama. Price with a back set. Woods into the backcourt. Taylor is there. Bumped over to Flippin. Lobs it across. Setting up Jacobs. Jacobs drives it. Lawson State 5 away from forcing a 5th set. Cougars have doubled up on the Wildcats. Manning setting up Flippin. And Flippin will go long. It has been a dominant set 4 performance from Lawson State. Chapman gets there first. Flippin into the net. And now the Cougars are 3 away from taking us to a 5th set. And the question will be going into 5. Can Bishop State recover? They have been dominated here in the 4th. Paris Collier serving. 5'11" freshman, another Bessemer product. Price setting up Gaiman, drives it across. Taylor there. King tries to tip it over, but it's put right back across by Woods. (23-11) Cougars. And Amario Woods will serve. Not a particularly good first pass, but able to get it over Taylor. Into the backcourt from Moore. Back set, Jamont. Able to sneak it inside the antenna. Bumped over to Gaiman, drives it. Taylor's there. Setting up King, and Moore sends it right back across. Set point for the Cougars. Chapman to Manning. Thomas going cross court. Two-handed shove over the campfire. Cougars win it. We're going to a 5th. What a dominant performance by the Cougars in set number 4. They have forced a 5th. This is the one. Talk about a winner-take-all match. It is now a winner-take-all set as we are tied at 2.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Wasn't there a country song that talked about the light at the end of the tunnel wound up being a train? Well, there's light at the end of the tunnel. For one of these two, it is that light at the end of the tunnel that, you know, the saying has grown accustomed to. For the other, it is indeed a train. Winner of set number 5 will play tomorrow. The loser of set 5 will not. Here we go. Tied at 2. Price able to save it. Jacob sending the free ball over. Jimison able to get there. Manning setting up Taylor. Drives it, drops it in front of the inline. Oh, goes long. Lawson State the opening point. And it is Price who will serve. Over goes to Taylor, drops it into the hands of Price. Back set. And that is Dubose. 2 straight for the Cougars. Continuing that dominating play in set number 4 and bringing it with them into set number 5. A 2-zip lead early. Jimison with a little bump across, able to get underneath his Price. Latour setting up Gaiman. Olsen with a save. Taylor for the left side. Latour able to get there. Setting up Jacobs. Drives it, drops it in front of the inline. Lawson State 3 straight. Price will serve in a 3-zip game. Jimison able to get there. Price setting up the offense for Lawson State. Bumped over by Jacobs. Aiming for the sidelines was King and drops it in. Chapman with the first serve for Bishop State. Down by 2. Latour tracking it down. Jacobs with the free ball sent over to Jimison. Bishop State a chance to set something up, and Griffin makes it a 1-point game. (3-2) Lawson State lead. Set number 5, Chapman with the serve. Price with a set. That will go into the stands off of Dubose. First 3 came from Lawson State. The next 3 from the Wildcats. We're tied at 3. Lobbed over by Chapman. She'll get the ace. Bishop State takes their first lead since set number 3. Chapman serving. Four unanswered Bishop State points, ends with a service error. And we are tied at 4. Gaiman serving. Holston there first. Price setting up Griffin, and Griffin off of Price. When somebody gets to 8, we swap sides. You got to win by 2. Cougars go on a 3-0 run to start it. Wildcats followed with a 4-0 run. Five in set 5. Latour will serve. Manning setting up Taylor. It is blocked by Woods. Cougars get the lead back. Cougars win set 1 and 4. Bishop State wins sets 2 and 3. Manning setting up Griffin, and Griffin into the net. Lawson State by 2. Latour with a serve. Taylor's there. Manning back over to Taylor. Aims to the opposite corner. Gaiman able to get there. Jacobs tipping it over. Underneath is Manning. Jamont. It is blocked by Jacobs. They'll swap sides of the floor. Lawson State needing 7. Bishop State needing 10. It all started more than an hour 45 ago. One of those matches where you know, you've heard it. Hate for anybody to lose, but somebody's got it, and somebody will move on. Timeout on the floor. Lawson State the advantage. And a whistle just prior to the serve. I think maybe our official had not given the serve sign. Now there she goes. Latour says, okay, here you go. Taylor there first. Back over it goes to Taylor. And she'll go wide. A pair of 25-18 Bishop State wins apparently got the attention of the Cougars. And they kicked it in with a 25-11 set 4 win. And now in set number 5 are a point away from doubling things up on the Wildcats. Thomas sending it over, Price there. Gives the back set, sent over by Dubose. Chapman reaches it. Jamont sending it across. Dubo is able to get there. Jacobs into the backcourt. Chapman in the corner. Holston setting up Thomas. Drives it. That will go off Jacobs. Serve back over to Bishop State. Flipping back onto the floor. Taylor will serve. Price with a set to Jacobs. Jamont with a block. Jacobs able to get there. Gaiman sending it to Price. The free ball over. Setting up Griffin. Drives it. That will go out off of Gaiman. And here come the Wildcats back. Down by 2 on the Taylor serve into the net. Dubose will serve. Cougars needing 5. Wildcats needing 8. Over to Dubose. That will go off Griffin. Cougars needing 4. Wildcats needing twice that many with a timeout on the floor. The 4 seed out of the north with a 4-point lead out of a 4 seed out of the south. That drops in the corner. And Bishop State scores coming out of a timeout. Paris Collier on the serve. Latour there first. Price setting up Dubose. And it will go off of King. Dubose serving. 3 away from winning the match. And playing tomorrow is Lawson State. 7 away is Bishop State. That will go long from Woods. Jimison serving. Nine serving 12, set number 5. We can't go any further than 5. But we can go further than 15. Gotta win by 2. Latour dives the ace from Jamison. Jimison again serving. Same direction. Latour this time gets to it. That is a Woods kill off Taylor. There is something psychological about getting to set, and in this particular case, match point. Cougars too long. We're almost there and still almost there. Well, Bishop State within 2. Halston will serve. Drives it over to Latour. Price. Back set to Moore. Had to reach back to send it over, but does. Driven over by King. Back set, King creeps it over the net. It's a 1-point game. Served by Halston. Driven over by Moore, and that is off of King. Cougars at set point. Price will serve. Set and match point. Dug out by Jimison. Fisted over by Taylor. And wait a minute. Illegal block. 1-point game. Pressure on the Chapman serve. Chapman serve, nibbles the net. We're tied at 14. Gotta get to 16 to win it. Chapman again on the serve. And you had an illegal alignment Bishop State by 1. Cougars guilty of the illegal alignment. Got Bishop State softball and Coastal North volleyball cheering on the Wildcats. Set and match point. Somehow, no, she did not get it inside the antenna. It's outside of the antenna from Gaiman, and Bishop State rallies and wins it. This one is over. What a match. What a battle. Bishop State in and Lawson State. What an effort, but out. And there is your final score. And as a result of the Bishop State win, they tomorrow have Wallace Hansville at 11. LBW takes on Pearl River at 11. Your 1 o'clock matchups, Enterprise State, Sneed State, Calhoun, and Coastal North. And we'll be here for all of that tomorrow. And if tonight is any indication of what we'll get on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, buckle up. It is going to be a great Gulf South District Tournament. Thanks so much for watching. For all the folks with the ACCC and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. 2 great teams, 2 great seasons. It ends for the Cougars and continues for the Wildcats.